After a tumultuous week off the field, Sunday against the Texans wasn't much better.
You want to start to see some signs of progression with him, but we didn't see it today.
A new direction is on the horizon for the Jaguars, but with 3 weeks left in the season, it's time to focus on the now.
Whether it's catching the ball, whether it's throwing the ball, whether it's protect, we got to clean that up, and we got to learn how to win, and we got to learn how to win those close games, and then the thing will start to turn.
This week, it's battle of 1 and 2. Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson.
And this is kind of the beginning of rookie row, and then the comparisons are going to be natural.
We'll break it all down next on Jaguars All Access.
Live from your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars, this is Jaguars All Access. Brought to you by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter.
It'd be a boost for all of us. You know, I mean, all these guys are in here. They're working hard, and you know, I mean, everybody's working toward that common goal to get a win.
What a Christmas gift it would be to get a win over the New York Jets. The Jaguars working this week to get a much-needed win and really just have a normal week here in Jacksonville. Welcome into Jaguars All Access. Ashlyn Sullivan here with Jeff Lageman. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. Brent Martineau back with us next week. Shaquill Griffin joining us shortly. And Jeff, we mentioned it. It's kind of refreshing just to talk about football this week.
What, you mean we didn't have any drama from Urban Meyer?
Yeah, it's kind of nice, right?
What? It was like it was real football. I mean, we got a coach that has a press conference that can answer questions.
Weird.
I'm being kind of dragging them through the mud there, but it was nice. It was nice. But the football team, I thought they played pretty well for the most part, but they've got to find a way to score some points. I mean, it continues to be an issue. Now I think it's over the last 8 games. They're averaging 10 points a game, and that's just not enough to win football games.
It is not enough, and we get into this New York Jets game, but first we go back to our game-changing moments presented by Baptist Health, and it goes into this Brandon Cooks touchdown. And Jeff, what is with this guy? Why can't the Jaguars figure him out?
Well, he's a good football player, and he's bounced around the league quite a bit, and this was kind of the final nail in the coffin. Disappointing because the defense couldn't give the ball back to the offense. It's a 7-point game at this time. And you got to find a way somehow in 3 drives to give the ball back to the offense and give them an opportunity at tying the ball game up. But this one pretty much closed the door and closed it hard.
Yes, absolutely. Fans were leaving the stadium in a hurry, and we can't blame them. We go all the way back to the top of the game with our Baptist Health game-changing moments. This special teams play cannot happen, and it puts the Jaguars in a hole right away.
Well, 2 mistakes early on in this ball game. You had 2 special teams gaffes. The first drive of the ball game, the Jaguars defense gets a good stop. It's going to be a 3 and out. And Adam Gotsis gets a hands to the face, and it keeps the drive alive for the Texans. Well, then the next thing you know, the Jaguars score. The Texans get the kickoff, and now it's 98 yards by Traymon Smith, and you're down 14-3. It's like, what? I mean, you don't have a chance to compete in the National Football League when you have self-inflicted wounds. Or they say, beating yourself is another catchphrase. That's what happened early in this ball game.
Yes, and we finish our Baptist Health game-changing moments with a positive note. Tyson Campbell, we cannot talk enough about this guy.
First of all, great play, great design, great call. And this is what happens when you get an offense in the 3rd and long. This is a 3rd and long situation. I drew this one up last night on Jags Wired, and it was a great play, great call by Joe Cullen. This is the 2nd career interception by Tyson Campbell. Think about that. He only had 1 interception in his career at the University of Georgia.
Wow.
I love it. This guy's getting better, and that's going to be a big part of the Jaguars' defense going forward because corners and coverage is everything.
Yes, love to hear it. A guy that knows Tyson Campbell very well and will speak very highly of him is Shaquill Griffin, who joins us now on Jaguars All Access. Shaq, Merry Christmas. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight.
No, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Absolutely. All right, so here's your chance to hype up your guy, Tyson Campbell. How well is he playing?
Oh man, he's playing phenomenal. I can't even lie. He came a long way, and I just love seeing it. And it's a guy who's been working every day extra to try to get better, and I love seeing it. This is a guy who loves to compete, and he's going to do some special things for us for a long time. And I just love to see it.
Did you train him how to study? Because when you watch Tyson Campbell play, there's some similarities in the way that both of you play the game. You can see anticipation, and a lot of people that watch the football game probably have a hard time seeing that, but when I watch the film, Shaq, I can see that the two of you study because you're anticipating a lot of routes.
No doubt. You know, I think the main thing when it came to his studying, he had no problem asking questions. You know, what do you look for, or what do you see early, and Coach Walton did actually a great job with having them do the same thing I'm doing on the sideline. When I'm not in, I'm trying to see what formation, you know, what shifts, what motions I can try to guess right now, try to, you know, predetermine the route concept. You know, and this is a guy a rookie who's doing that. Most rookies wouldn't take the time to do that. So like I said, he put so much extra work in, and it's cool that it's finally showing. I love seeing that.
It's got to be disappointing for you guys. You had a couple opportunities early in that ball game to get off the field as a defense. You struggled a little bit there. One of them on a punt return, and that was one of your defensive guys that committed that penalty. Then late in the ball game, you missed on some opportunities to get the ball back to your offense. I'm sure you guys are focused, and I love listening to you guys because you don't finger point, but you guys realize that as a defense, you got to play better too.
Oh, no doubt. You know, I feel like that's the best thing about our defense. There's always some room for improvement. There's always ways we can go on the same page and learn. You know, that's the best part. I know we had some hiccups that game. You know, those are mistakes that we just can't have. And then the main thing about it, you know, we try not to make them same mistake twice. And I feel like it's definitely going to make us a better defense. And it's definitely going to show, you know, in this upcoming game. But, man, I love the way we continue to fight. And we're going to continue to learn and figure this out together.
All right, Shaq, this is a matchup we talked about so much in the preseason. Number 1 versus number 2, Trevor Lawrence versus Zach Wilson. What have you seen from Zach Wilson in film this week?
Oh, man, seeing a guy who stays poised. And it's crazy because he's not scared to run the ball. You know, he'll definitely get some yards. I don't see him make some special plays, you know, on his feet. And he's not scared to take a chance, you know, trusting the receiver, give him a chance to make a play on the ball. You know, the good thing is, you know, I give us a chance to make some opportunities. Definitely a smart guy. So we're going to try to put him in some tough situations, make him think a little bit more. And I'm definitely I'm ready to see what he got. You know, being number 2, he got to show it.
The one thing that I saw, and I'm sure that you saw it, Shaq, watching the film of the Miami Dolphins game, LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, who is the brother of the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, is calling some plays. There's a little trickery involved. You got one play where he's throwing a crossing route, and the next thing you know, the receiver is throwing a lateral pass across the field. How aware are you guys of things that could happen like that against the Jets on Sunday?
We know everything is possible when you playing the Jets. We don't seen it all. And the main thing is we just got to cover a little bit long. We got to figure out the whole entire play. And we know they're going to have some type of trickery in the game, so it won't be a surprise when it happens, but we just got to be ready for it. And we will. That's something that we definitely focus on, of course. You know, we'll definitely be ready for it.
The Jaguars ready to take on the New York Jets on Sunday. Shaquill Griffin, don't go anywhere. Jeff Lageman takes us into the film room next, right here on Jaguars All Access. Live on Fox 30. Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. We're in the film room next. Stay with us.
Jaguars All Access is brought to you by Fields Auto Group, including Land Rover Jacksonville. Step up to luxury at fieldsauto.com. Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Fanatics, officially licensed everything. And TIAA Bank, created to serve, built to perform.
Yeah, me and Shawty have a great relationship, really ever since I've gotten here. We've built great rapport, and that's, you know, obviously it's exciting going forward.
New play caller this Sunday against the Jets. Passing game coordinator Brian Schottenheimer will be the guy, so Darrell Bevell can be the head coach. Welcome back into Jaguars All Access, live on Fox 30, here live at String Sports Brewery. We're here, Jeff Lageman. Shaquill Griffin will be back joining us shortly, but it is time for the film room.
Yeah, first of all, it's going to be exciting, I think, to see how much different that the game is called with Brian Schottenheimer calling the plays. And it's not like it's his first rodeo. He's been a coordinator before in Seattle and also with the New York Jets. And I hope that he calls some more plays like what we're talking about here, because we saw all season long the Jaguars running these little quick screens to Laviska Shenault Jr. Finally, they ran the complement play against the Texans, and here it is.
Pump fake, fires downfield, got a man, that's caught by O'Shaughnessy along the left sideline into Houston territory. He got it all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Welcome into the football lab, and we've seen the Jaguars offensively run the quick screen all year, and you see it a lot of times go to Laviska Shenault, where you get a couple wide receivers out in front blocking defensive backs leading the way. Well, the Jaguars broke out this complement play, or a little fool and play to that, and instead of Laviska getting the ball here on the quick screen, the blockers fake the block, okay? So you've got Laquan Treadwell faking the block to the defensive back and then actually running a vertical route. He was open on this play too, but Trevor throws it to James O'Shaughnessy, who also fakes the block and then runs a little vertical route, and he gets hit right here. Perfect play design, because it's just like a heavyweight boxer. You have to have a counter punch to a main punch. And the quick screen, this is the counter to that. And the defensive backs react exactly how you want them. They all come up thinking Laviska's going to get the ball, and then there they go right past him, and both of them are open. Big play in which it worked out for the Jaguars on a scoring drive. 30-yard completion to James O'Shaughnessy. Now let's jump into the film and take a look at it live. Now you see Laviska coming across in motion, and he immediately turns back to the quarterback, and look at the reaction of the defensive backs because of what he does. And also the faked blocks by Treadwell and James O'Shaughnessy. And the defensive backs lose the coverage, and you can see that Treadwell and James O'Shaughnessy are both open. Nice throw by Trevor Lawrence to James O'Shaughnessy, and an excellent block down the field by one of my favorite blocking wide receivers, Laquan Treadwell. Week in and week out getting great blocks, but a great play design, the complement to the quick screen. I can tell you, Ashlyn, the hardest plays to always defend as a defender, whether it be high school, college, or pro, it's plays that all look the same, because you're not sure which one it's going to be. Is it going to be the quick screen, or is it going to be the fake quick screen with the throw? And so I love, and I've been calling for it all year long, and I'm so glad that Darrell Bevel got to call this play before he relinquished play calling duties.
Yeah, you're happy for him, and as you should be.
I was kind of, to be honest with you, I was kind of upset that they didn't use this play before. I mean, it took them too long.
Yes, it did. The Jaguars getting ready for maybe some trickery on the other side against the New York Jets, but hey, we have Christmas to talk about coming up. Shaquill Griffin is back joining us, and well, he has a twin brother, so he must have some good ideas coming up on Jaguars All Access here live on Fox 30. Stay with us here at Strings. We'll be right back.
Live from your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars, this is Jaguars All Access. Brought to you by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter.
For the best for me and the best for this team is to really focus on this week, and then focus on next week, and then focus on finishing the season strong.
That's tough. 3 games left in the season, but big decisions looming here shortly in the offseason. But the Jaguars have to stay focused on their next opponent, the New York Jets, this Sunday. Welcome back to Jaguars All Access, live on Fox 30, here live at String Sports Brewery. We're back. Jeff Lageman, Ashlyn Sullivan, and Shaquill Griffin getting ready for Christmas on Saturday. And Shaquill, I got to know, with a twin brother, that's got to make holidays really interesting. So take us through a childhood Christmas at the Griffin household.
I will do the happy one, and not me and my brother arguing. So I remember one Christmas, my dad pretty much told us we wasn't getting anything at all. You know, and I guess we thought we was being bad maybe. But he finally, the day of, we finally see all the Christmas presents. We seen the little mini motorcycles as we was kids, and once we got that, we thought it was some type of biker gang for the next 2 years. I don't know why, but you know, that had to be one of my best Christmas ever, and I really enjoyed it, really appreciate that, and I'm pretty sure my brother would say the same story.
Do you remember a Christmas gift that you guys actually got in a little fight over?
Yeah, we had one. I think I had one toy, and I think he broke it in half, and something came over me. I just jumped on him. I don't know what, but it touched me a certain way. And then we ended up chasing each other around the house to see who can get the last hit. So it lasts about maybe 15 minutes. And 15 minutes for a fight is a long time. No breaks.
Ugh, brothers are the worst. I can attest to that.
Live from your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars, this is Jaguars All Access. Brought to you by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter.
We're back, Jaguars All Access, live on Fox 30, your Gatorade headlines. This holiday schedule, Christmas waits for no one, and so does the NFL. The Jaguars traveling on Christmas Day to New York, and this is something. The Jets right now have 17 people on their COVID reserve list, including their head coach, Robert Saleh, and very unfortunate news for the Jaguars, Rayshon Jenkins, as well as Carlos Hyde, placed on injured reserve. Jeff, this is a tough loss for the Jaguars.
Well, and I think it's going to be a very tough loss. And they've got some guys that can sub in, and I'm sure that he's going to heal up fine. The big thing to watch this week for the remainder of the week is Robert Saleh does have COVID. That's one. And then there's 17 Jets players that are on the COVID list. That's a big concern, and that caused 2 games to be moved to a Tuesday this past week, or this week, with the NFL. And Ashlyn, I hope it doesn't move the Jaguars game against the Jets, but you never know. You never know what could happen.
Jeff, they are not allowed to move the Jaguars game against the Jets, and they certainly cannot move it to Christmas Day. I will be very upset. So we are going to try this Fanatics fan question yet again. Griffin, what do you have for Shaquill?
Shaquill, what is your favorite Christmas song?
Favorite Christmas song? This Christmas by Chris Brown.
We're back on Jaguars All Access, and Jeff, we got to talk about this Gasparilla Bowl. It is UCF versus Florida. What are we going to do about this?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the University of Florida. I hate to say that, and I know it's probably going to upset a lot of Gator fans. The true orange and blue for me is the University of Virginia. But nonetheless, I'm married into the Gator Nation. My wife is a big fan of the Florida Gators because she is an alum. So I do root for the University of Florida.
Okay, well, what are we thinking about this COVID thing? I mean, this has all of a sudden blown up, and I don't know what we're going to do about this. There's still 3 weeks left in the season, and it's very likely if the Jets can't play, what happens?
Well, I think the Jets are going to play, because the one good thing about their COVID situation is that it's not a lot of starters.
Yeah.
Last week, the Texans ended up having about 6 starters on their football team that had COVID. Now, I don't see that with the Jets right now, but it's certainly something to watch because, as we've seen with this latest strain, it's highly contagious, and it could spread even quicker than they could possibly even imagine.
And what an opportunity, kind of a blast from the past. Former Jaguars tight end coach Ron Middleton gets the chance to coach the New York Jets, coach for the Jaguars from 2013 to 2020. And James O'Shaughnessy said this is an awesome opportunity for him.
Well, first of all, Ron Middleton is one of the favorites to ever coach through here. Him and Duffy, the linebackers coach, 2 all-time fan favorites and player favorites and staff favorites. And Ron Middleton is one of the highest class guys you'll ever meet. And he ends up being the acting head coach. He'll do a great job for the New York Jets. But there's a lot of links with the Jets to the Jaguars because longtime Jaguars special teams player Brent Boyer is the special teams coordinator for the New York Jets, and he was a really good football player here in the early years. And then also there are former Jaguars coaches strewn throughout the entire coaching staff, mainly because Robert Saleh's connection to the Jaguars as a linebacker coach himself.
And finally, the Jaguars have 3 games left of this season, and we always talk about this being a winnable game against the Jets, but hey, they got to score more points for it to be winnable.
They got to score more points, and the comparisons are going to be drawn. The first overall pick in the draft, Trevor Lawrence, and then the second pick in the draft in Zach Wilson. And then all of a sudden, the following week, you got the comparisons that are going to happen in New England. Mm-hmm. I think this for Trevor to kind of take a little bit of the pressure off of himself. these next 2 weeks, I think, are critical to have very strong performance, and also just to go ahead and to make the fan base feel good about it.
Yes, right. Just need a much needed
That he's
win.
headed in the right direction, and he's trending the right way.
He really is. And that is Jaguars All Access live here on Fox 30. We hope you all have an incredible holiday weekend. Thank you for staying here with us. Stay with us here on Fox 30 live on Jaguars All Access.
Your official station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Thanks for watching Jaguars All Access. Brought to you by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter.